murder of 5 children, 11 years of age or younger. Now recommend to the court that he is sentenced to death.
For how things turned out, but I never heard him say that he was sorry for his own actions. Not once did I recall hearing those things.
Imagine standing in a courtroom, the world watching, knowing the next words spoken by the judge could end your life. Some stay silent, some break down, some explode in rage. These are 7 of the most unbelievable, real courtroom reactions when criminals were sentenced to death.
Stabbed him like 4 to 8 times. I hit Jeffrey Howe until he stopped moving. I don't know how many times I hit him with the hand.
1. Michael Brady. This is Michael Brady, who attempted a prison escape that resulted in the death of 4 prison workers at Pascal Tank Correctional Institution in North Carolina. I stabbed him like 4 to 8 times. I hit Jeffrey Howe until he stopped moving. I don't know how many times. I hit him with a hammer. Brady was facing 24 years in prison for an attempted murder conviction after he shot at a North Carolina state trooper. And 4 years into his sentence, Brady and inmates brutally murdered 4 prison workers with hammers and scissors. That man, Michael Brady, beat that man, George, like he was trying to bust concrete. Brady then tried to hop a fence, but then was captured at gunpoint. It was like a bloodbath.
It was like a bloodbath. I stepped in between Jeffrey and Wendy, and I slid trying to get in because the whole elevator floor was nothing but blood.
And I stepped in between Jeffrey and Wendy, and I slid trying to get in because the whole elevator floor was nothing but blood. During the trial, the prosecutors argued that Brady was the one who planned the attack and had no remorse for the killings. We know who originated the plan. We know who led the plan after Brady is found guilty. He now takes the stand at his sentencing. I'm up here to tell the truth. You can ask me anything you want. I'm going to tell the truth, whether it hurts me, whether it helps me. I don't care about that. You don't believe you're crazy, do you? No, I don't think I'm crazy. No, and you do know the difference between right and wrong. Yes, so, murder is wrong. Murder is a different name for a death. But yes, your freedom meant more than their lives. Yes, and now the judge reads out the jury's recommendation, jury unanimously recommending that the defendant be sentenced to death. Brady seems completely emotionless, and the judge later agrees on the death penalty, where he now sits locked up in Colorado awaiting his death.
Strangling him, that way it would create no mess, pretty much be an easier job to handle. Obviously, Justin was trying to put up a fight, and he wasn't.
2. Austin Myers' sentence. This is Austin Myers and Timothy Mosley. They were both convicted of murdering 18-year-old Justin back in Waynesville, Ohio. The 2 men, Myers and Mosley, went to Back's house in an attempt to rob a safe that belonged to his father. During the robbery, Back was strangled with a choke wire. The idea of strangling him that way, it would create no mess, pretty much be an easier job to handle. Obviously, Justin was trying to put up a fight and he wasn't overpowering us. Justin Back was then stabbed 21 times until he died. Justin was trying to ask us why he was playing to stop and pretty much begging for his life on trial. Mosley testified against Myers to obtain a plea bargain where he pled guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. Finally, for Myers, he takes the stand in front of the jury, asking them to spare his life for his family in hopes of avoiding the death sentence. If you choose for me to die, it's only going to cause more pain and suffering for another family, not me.
Here and tell you how much I hate you. That is without question. I would just hope that every time you close your eyes at night, you see my son, Justin.
I think there's a lot of good things I can do with my life if you allow me to keep my life.
The defendant does not understand how precious life is. Therefore, the sentence of death shall be imposed upon Austin Gregory Myers on the charge of aggravated murder.
It won't hurt me. I won't feel anything. It's going to hurt more innocent people. This is now the father of Justin, Back speaking. I'm not going to stand up here and tell you how much I hate you. That is without question. I would just hope that every time you close your eyes at night, you see my son, Justin. After the jury recommended the death sentence, this is Myers' last chance to plead for his life in front of the judge. I think there's a lot of good things I can do with my life. If you allow me to keep my life and the judge doesn't buy it, He hands down the maximum sentence. The defendant does not understand how precious life is. Therefore, the sentence of death shall be imposed upon Astin Gregory Myers on the charge of aggravated murder. Nothing but a slight nod at just 19 years old. This made Mears the youngest Ohio individual to be put on death row. He is currently awaiting his execution at Chillicothe Correctional Institution. There were so many lives destroyed by this, and it was just for nothing. I mean, there was no money in the safe. There was nothing in there. They did this for basically nothing.
Nikko Jenkins? Do you not realize that? I got Nikko Jenkins. I got you.
What do you mean you got me?
I got your DNA at the murder scene. I got your DNA in the car.
Sir.
I got the weapon. I got Nikko Jenkins.
3. Nikko Jenkins. This is Nikko Jenkins, who was convicted on 4 counts of murder when he went on a killing spree in the span of 10 days in Omaha, Nebraska at 15 years old. Jenkins was sent to a youth correctional facility and served a 10-year sentence in prison for carjacking and assault a month. After his release, Jenkins shot and killed 2 individuals in a robbery. 8 days later, his next victim was a former inmate he originally met in prison. He was shot, she and killed in his own garage. 2 days after that, Jenkins killed his 4th victim in a carjacking. Jenkins was arrested for unrelated charges, but hereby given for each of the 4 murders by the defendant. As Jenkins is sentenced to death, he seems to be completely unfazed. He is currently incarcerated at the Nebraska State Penitentiary, awaiting his death.
He was laying on the ground with his eyes open, and I ran up to him, and I looked at him. I said, Anthony, honey, please say KC one more time.
That's you, isn't it, sir?
Yes.
Look at it, please, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Gale is on the floor going down at this point, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, and that's you shooting him, right?
Yes.
Look at the screen, sir.
Yes.
That's you shooting him?
Yes.
And you admit that you shot him in cold blood?
Yes.
You shot him again, didn't you?
Yes.
After that, you went back to the toilet paper aisle, didn't you?
4. Martez Abram's sentence. This is Martez Abram, who is convicted on 2 counts of murder for the killings of 2 Walmart employees in South Haven, Mississippi. Abram had worked at the Walmart, but was faced with a suspension after he apparently had a knife on him in the store the day he was suspended. He returned to the store with multiple weapons and opened fire, killing store managers, Anthony Brown and Brandon Gales. He was laying on the ground with his eyes open, and I ran up to him, and I looked at him. I said, "Anthony H., you please say, see one more time." He also shot an officer who survived due to his bulletproof vest once I got out of my vehicle. "Yes, and you admit that you shot him in cold?" "Yes, you shot him again, didn't you?" "Yes, after that, you went back to the Sal paper off, didn't you?" "Yes, this is one of the victim's wife delivering a victim impact statement. You took Anthony from me on the exact day, 20 years earlier, that we had our first date. And now this is when the judge will decide Abram's fate in count 1. I will sentence you to death. Count 2, you will be sentenced to death. And count 3, you will be sentenced to life in the penitentiary." As Abram hears that he will be receiving the death penalty, he stands silently where he now sits on death row, awaiting his.
In the lecture, but somehow I have absolutely don't know nothing about, and they frame me.
5. Markeith Loyd execution. This is Markeith Loyd, who is convicted of murdering a police officer in Orlando, Florida. I'm saying, but something I have absolutely don't know nothing about. And they frame me. They frame me. Loyd was already on the run from the police after he killed his former girlfriend, who was pregnant with his child a month later. Loyd is spotted in a Walmart. You can see him walking in moments later. Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clay pulls in. You can see her grab a cart and walk in. Reportedly, they cross paths every few minutes outside the store. Lieutenant K was notified, and she tried to stop and arrest Loyd when a shootout begun. Lieutenant K was killed during the interaction, being shot 4 times following the murder. Loyd took off again, which led to a 9-day manhunt, where he was later found. During the arrest, he tried to escape, where he lost his left eye. In the altercation here in court, Loyd took the stand, reported he believed everyone was out to kill him, and I was just reacting there. I was just reacting. Even when they opened the door, I just reacted. Loyd hears that the jury unanimously recommends the death sentence. We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Markeith Loyd, should be sentenced to death. Loyd seems to mouth something out to the public a few moments later. Loyd has an outburst. "You've been trying to kill me. Try to for murder. Why don't we remove Mr. Loyd from the courtroom?" The judge later agreed with the jury and sent Loyd to death, where he now sits behind bars waiting for his death sentence. 6. Bundy Shocked. When Ted Bundy walked into the courtroom, he still carried the same confidence he'd relied on for years, smirking, charming, and convinced he could manipulate the system one last time. But the moment the judge announced the death sentence, everything changed. The mask dropped. Bundy's eyes widened, his smile faded, and for the first time, he looked genuinely stunned. He tried to regain control, shifting in his seat, forcing an awkward grin. But it was clear the verdict had shattered the illusion he'd built around himself. The judge's final words, calling Bundy's crimes extremely wicked, shockingly evil, hit him with a weight he could no longer escape. In that instant, the courtroom saw Ted Bundy not as the charismatic manipulator he pretended to be, but as a man realizing he could not outsmart justice. 7. Ramirez Smirking. When Richard Ramirez entered the courtroom, he carried an unsettling calm that made everyone uneasy. But it was his reaction to the death sentence that became truly unforgettable. As the judge read the verdict, Ramirez didn't flinch, not a twitch, not a breath. Instead, he slowly lifted his head and formed a cold, deliberate smirk, as if the entire moment amused him. His expression wasn't fear or anger. It was a disturbing display of arrogance, a final attempt to project power in a place where he had none left. The courtroom remained silent, frozen by his eerie grin. While the sentence marked the end of his reign of terror, his smirk showed exactly who he had always been, a man completely devoid of remorse, even in the face of ultimate judgment. And there you have it, the 7 most brutal killers in the chilling moments they heard their fate sealed forever. Each reaction is a reminder of one thing: no matter how terrifying the criminal, justice eventually arrives, and it arrives loud. If you found this breakdown intense, shocking, or eye-opening, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we have even more unbelievable real-life cases coming your way. Thanks for watching. Stay aware, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.